I've confronted hundreds of men over 2 decades. Men online looking for children to sexually assault.
Well, Cody, I'm Chris Hansen.
I know who you are.
I tried to get into their heads and understand why. But you have it on your phone.
That's true.
And ultimately, make sure they face justice.
Can I just give you some money and leave?
I don't want money. I want the truth.
These are the predators I've caught. I'm Chris Hansen. I've got breaking news on this episode. As you can tell, I'm not in my New York studio nor in the Michigan studio. I am on the road in the middle of a sting operation for my streaming crime network True Blue, the show Takedown, the Predator investigative series. I'm in Maryland, and I can tell you all this because by the time you hear and watch this podcast, the sting will be over. But I'm in Maryland, about 40 minutes outside of Baltimore in Harford County. You may recall we did a sting here last year, very successful one. Yesterday, shockingly, during this sting, we caught a 47-year-old Metro Washington, D.C. police lieutenant who had been chatting with a sheriff's decoy posing as a 15-year-old boy. The chat went on for 31 days. It was explicit. He wanted to travel with the boy, have sex with the boy. He sent penis pictures to the boy. He sent pictures of himself lounging on the fold-out couch in his official office. And get this, he was the lieutenant in charge of special operations, dignitary protection. When you see a big entourage of official vehicles, whether it's President Trump's or the head of state of Israel or Ireland, this guy is in charge of it. His name is Matthew Nicholas Mall. Just turned 47. He had his birthday during the 31-day chat. We have captured all of this in live time, and it will be out on True Blue in an upcoming episode of Takedown with Chris Hansen. I am blown away. You know, you talk about all the sex scandals tied to Washington right now. Eric Swalwell, the congressman from California who was running for governor, caught in an unfolding sting, shocking in its details. We're trying to talk to some of his victims for our other podcast, Have a Seat with Chris Hansen. But it's amazing to me that these guys think they can get away with it. The arrogance, the power. And it appears in the case of this police lieutenant from Washington, D.C., he had gotten into trouble for something before 13 years ago. Published reports indicate that he was suspended at least. He was a part of the police union. Maybe that helped him get his job back. We don't know the details of that suspension in 2013, but we're going to find out, and it will all be a part of that upcoming episode of Takedown on True Blue. You're going to hear about this in the days to come. Apparently, the police department is preparing some sort of statement. I doubt it will include all the details I currently have. Stay tuned for that. And speaking of notorious predators I've caught, Joshua Ryan Simpson, who is the subject of this episode, is part of a very exclusive, I guess you could call it, club of predators. One of only 3 in 22 years of investigating adults who try to exploit children online. One of only 3 who have come into the sting house naked or have come into the sting house and stripped naked. That's right. You can probably name the other 2. John Kennelly in Herndon, Virginia, outside of Washington, D.C., who was a school bus driver. His screen name was Special Guy 29. He was neither 29 nor special, but he stripped down in the garage and walked into our sting house, where I confronted him, gave him a towel, blanket of some sort. He wrapped himself up. Now, this was our second investigation, and so he was not immediately arrested. Police were not collaborating with us at the time. He was arrested later. He did not face any significant prison time. He did show up the next day at a McDonald's looking for another child. That was shocking in and of itself. When I confronted him, he scrambled away and drove off in his red pickup truck. Now, the second, you may recall his screen name, Crazy Trini, something to that effect. Marvin Lackham from Trinidad. He showed up during a sting we conducted in Fort Myers, Florida. We had a big old house there. It's a very successful sting. Quite a few characters showed up in that one. But old Crazy Trini from Trinidad, Marvin, he walked in to the mudroom of the house, stripped naked, and then heard the voice of the decoy and came running as fast as he could, naked, to find the decoy, who was just inside a study off the sun porch with me, where we had set up a production suite. And literally, as I'm opening the door, his hand is on the other side of the door, on the doorknob, thinking he's going to find the girl. Well, he found me. Again, we had a blanket ready, a towel of some sort. So he wrapped up and we had our discussion. Marvin wanted to involve Cool Whip and a cat in his sexual escapade. Now, like John Kennelly, Marvin didn't really face a severe penalty in this case. He blew town. He left, went back to Trinidad, where apparently he works in a pharmacy as a pharmacist. So both of the first two guys who walked in naked, posing an awful threat to a child, got off with little or no justice in these cases. But in this case, in Blount County, Alabama, the case of Joshua Ryan Simpson, he got justice all right. And that's why I want to talk about him in this episode. I'll get to what happened to him just recently in just a few moments. But let me remind you who Joshua Ryan Simpson is. He went online by the name of Ryan. At the time of his arrest, he was 31 years old in December of 2024. Christmas episode, if you will, of Takedown. We had guys who were supposed to be out shopping, and we had guys who were shopping for a present of a different sort, in this case, a 15-year-old girl. So Joshua, who went online by the name Ryan, had been chatting on and off with, this girl, this detective posing as a girl. The decoy posing as the 15-year-old girl said that she would accept $200 from Ryan, aka Joshua, to have sex for 30 minutes. She said she lived with her mom, that her mom would be asleep. And old Josh bought right into that. He was excited. He talked about the different ways he wanted to have sex. You'll hear about all that as I confront him. But the decoy in the chat also mentioned how if he wanted to, he could strip down naked when he got to the house. Now, we weren't sure if he was actually going to do it, but he sure did. More about this predator I've caught in a moment. If you're a homeowner in America, you need to listen to this. The FBI has been warning about a type of real estate fraud on the rise called title theft, and your equity is the target. Here's how it works. Criminals forge your signature on a single document, use a fake notary stamp, and file it with the county. And just like that, on record, they own your home. Using your ownership, they can take out loans against your equity or even sell your property right out from under you. And you won't know it until foreclosure or collection notices show up in the mail. That's why I've partnered with Home Title Lock so you can protect your equity and find out today if you're already a victim. Use my promo code Hansen, Hansen, at HomeTitleLock.com, and you'll get a free title history report and a free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection. That's 24/7 monitoring of your title records, urgent alerts to any changes, and if fraud occurs, their U.S.-based restoration team will spend up to $1 million to fix it. That's right. Don't be a victim. Protect your equity today. That's HomeTitleLock.com, promo code Hansen, Hansen, or use the link below. I'll be watching.
It's finally here.
Oh my God.
The official Chris Hansen merch store. Now you can join the mission with official Chris Hansen merchandise, hoodies, tees, mugs, stickers, and more. Shop the full collection at haveaseat.dashery.com.
We get into position. The decoy heads out the front door as the surveillance cameras capture the man pulling into the driveway.
Hey, how are you?
Will you slow down?
Do you have the money?
Yeah.
He hands over the cash. Josh is greeted at the door by the on-site decoy, posing as the 15-year-old girl. Lays the money down on the counter. She asks him if he's going to do what he said online, and he starts to take his clothes off. He asks her if she'd take something off as well.
You gotta make good on your deal first.
The deal, as discussed online, was for him to get naked as soon as he arrived.
You want to take something off?
I'm gonna let you go first.
Here he goes. We're wondering in the back room of the Sting House, watching all this on monitors, if he's going to go all the way. I mean, who walks into a stranger's house and does this? At least we know he wasn't carrying a gun.
Smoke detectors.
He hears a noise. Either one of my crew or one of the members of the Blount County Sheriff's Office made a sound. One of the two-way radios might have gone off. He asks, "What is that?" Decoy right there, ready to go, says, "Must have been a smoke detector." Good excuse.
Right. I'm gonna go to the restroom real fast.
Now naked and holding his privates. Was a little chilly, I suppose. The onside decoy says she's going to go use the restroom. So he's out there waiting. Josh is. Waiting. And we're watching. It's time to start the show. Well, you know how to make yourself right at home, don't you? Have a seat on that stool right over there. Nope. You can put
clothes on?
You can put your clothes on. Josh asks if he can put his clothes on. I was pretty insistent that he did. Now, before we get into it with Josh, let's talk to the detective and get some specifics on the chat Josh had with someone he thought was a 15-year-old girl. Give me a sense of the conversation.
Very short and quick. I told him 200 for an hour or 100 for a half an hour. He said, "Where are you?" I said, "Cleveland." He said he was in Jacksonville. He asked if I was coming to him. I said, "No." I said, "How old are you?" "I'm 15. He said, "I'm 31. I said, "Are you okay with being with a young girl?" He said, "How about your stepmom?" I said, "She's going to sleep."
That's right. Josh wanted to know if the girl could come to him. That wasn't happening. He wanted to know about the mom, or stepmom, actually. She'll be asleep. This is the detective who actually conducted the chat.
He asked for nudes. I said, "No, you're just going to jack off to it." He said, "Yeah, and on you."
The detective, Ty Sissom, gives me details about the chat.
I said, "So are you going to come?" He said, "I will. Let me see you." I said, "You want sex or anal?" He said, "Sex. Just regular intercourse." I said, "It's okay. It's going to be 50. He said, "Send me a nude." I said, "No." He's just asking for a body pic, so I sent him that. He sent a picture of himself.
Got it.
And that's it.
Josh asked for a naked picture of the girl. She refused, but did send a body pic, clothed. Then Josh sends a picture of himself. Well, that's him, all right. Was there a phone call?
No, sir.
Okay. And what's his status?
Well, I think he just hopped in the car and took a picture, so I told him to send me one of the road out in front of him. Yeah.
Good. We shall see. No phone call, just an address. And sure enough, now I'm face to face with Joshua Ryan Simpson. Well, you know how to make yourself right at home, don't you? Come in here, take your clothes off, get buck-ass naked. What's your name?
Ryan,
Ryan. And where are you from?
Jacksonville,
Jacksonville. And how long of a drive was it to get here tonight?
about an hour.
An hour. And what was your plan here tonight?
I don't really know.
You don't really know. Well, it looks like you knew because you got naked in the kitchen of this house.
I've never done nothing like this before.
You've never done nothing like this before. Why did you start this time?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know is not a good answer, Ryan. What do you do for a living, Ryan?
Work at a chicken plant.
And what do you do at the chicken plant?
Maintenance.
Maintenance. Josh works at a local chicken plant in maintenance. Before that, he worked at an auto parts store. How old of a fella are you?
31.
31. And what made you think it was all right to have a sexually charged conversation with somebody who told you they were 15?
I thought she was 19.
No. At first, Josh tries to tell me a little story, a lie, that he thought the girl was 19. They fake it, kids do sometimes, to get on these sites. But she told you she was 15, and I've got the text, so I've seen it. There's probably no reason to lie to me. She said 15, didn't she?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
I remember seeing 19 though on the site. And I wasn't sure if her actual age really was.
But she told you 15.
15 and I saw 19.
Okay, but she said 15. You saw 15 too. Okay. You said, "I can fuck you raw"?
No, I was asking
You were asking.
if I needed a condom or not.
Oh, well, that clears it up. That makes it okay. He was just asking if he needed a condom. If what you've heard shocks you so far, join us back in a moment. I spend a lot of time traveling to different investigative assignments. I'm in the air. I get dry skin. I've tried a lot of different products, but I can tell you this, one skin works for me. I travel with it. I use it at home. And now my wife, Gabrielle, has started using it because she's researched it. And the reason why we're so confident in this product is because it was founded by PhD longevity scientists. OneSkin's patented OS1 peptide is the first ingredient proven to target senescent cells, a key driver of wrinkles, fine lines, and loss of elasticity. Now, I'm not just saying this. We use these products. They are free from over 1,500 harsh ingredients, validated in 4 different peer-reviewed clinical studies, and awarded the National Eczema Association seal of acceptance. And that's pretty impressive. I'm using OS1 Face and love how simple and effective it is. I also use it on my eyes because I don't always get enough sleep. It's helpful. Born from over a decade of longevity research, OneSkin's OS1 peptide is proven to target the visible signs of aging, helping you unlock your healthiest skin now and as you age. For a limited time, try OneSkin with 15% off using code Hansen, Hansen, at oneskin.co/Hansen. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code Hansen, Hansen. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. I use it. You should too. Right, that's what I said. You ask if you can fuck her raw. What did you mean by that? Why did you say it if you don't know? You must have known. You wanted to have sex with her without a condom.
Yeah,
Right.
either with or without.
Did you bring condoms?
No, sir.
You sent a picture of your penis.
Yeah.
What was that about?
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, I don't know is out of you. Oh, yes, and he also sent a picture of his penis, of course. You wanted to stay the night
Well, she asked me.
since you were going to drive all this way.
Yeah, she asked if I wanted to stay the night.
And what did you tell her?
I don't remember.
And he was ready to spend the whole night with this girl. You don't remember?
No.
Would you like me to refresh your memory?
Yeah.
You say, we gonna fuck all night.
Mm,
Do you remember that now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So am I in trouble?
Oh, yeah, you're in trouble, Josh. Big trouble. You say, okay, your mom won't get mad?
Oh, like if I stayed the night.
Right. Why would you be worried about somebody's mom being mad?
I don't know. I was just wondering.
Because she's 15.
No, just if I stay at her house or not.
Now, you might be thinking Josh isn't the brightest fellow in the world, but that doesn't make him any less dangerous. He's able to hold down a job. 31 years old. He knows the difference between right and wrong. And here he is, naked, in the kitchen of our sting house. So what do you think was going to happen? You asked her for nude pictures.
Yeah.
This doesn't look good for you.
I'd never do it again, though. I promise.
You promise you'll never do it again?
Promise, sir.
Oh, and something I've heard over and over again. In the 22 years we've been doing these investigations, I'll never do it again. What do you think the over-under is on that if magically Josh was allowed to go free, face no consequences for his actions on this night? And why should I believe that?
I feel so bad now.
Yeah? Why do you feel so bad now?
It just feels wrong.
Feels wrong.
So,
If it feels so wrong, Ryan, why'd you do it? Now, you'll notice I'm still calling him Ryan because that's the name he used in the chat. In fact, as I mentioned before, Ryan is his middle name. We don't know all this just yet as I'm doing the interview.
I don't know, just bad decision.
Bad decision. Have you met other girls online for sex?
Never.
Then why on this occasion?
I don't know. Just,
Decided to celebrate Christmas this way?
I guess.
I guess. Well, you're about to get a lump of coal in your stocking. What do you think should happen to you, Ryan?
I don't know. I mean, I just promise I'd never do it again.
Promise I'd never do it again. And you think that should erase this whole
I feel
unfortunate
bad.
incident?
I feel really bad.
You do. What do you think would have happened, Ryan, had I not been here and it was just you and a 15-year-old girl, all naked?
Honestly, eventually I'd probably back out.
Back out? Naked. Holding his junk in the kitchen. Wanting the girl to get naked too. Back out? The time to back out, Josh, was about 6 hours before you met me. You back out.
Yeah.
You're standing here naked with your penis in your hand, and you're telling me you were going to back out? Back out of what?
I would.
Looks like you wanted to back out with the girl onto the couch and have sex.
Not necessarily. No.
Oh, you're naked, Ryan. Come on. Do I look stupid?
No, sir.
You took your clothes off, son. It wasn't to get in the hot tub. It wasn't to do Vikram yoga. That might have been lost on Josh. It was to have sex with the girl you were looking at. And then you wanted her to take her clothes off. So what was going to happen then?
I was honestly thinking about putting mine back on and leaving.
You didn't look that way.
And really, when she went to the bathroom, I was thinking about getting dressed and going.
Yeah. I think when you saw me, you started to think about getting dressed.
Before that, too, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's illegal to meet an underage girl for sex.
Yes, sir.
And that's what you did.
I'd never do it again.
Never do it again.
I promise you.
And you were going to give her money for sex.
Yeah.
So you're going to pay a teenage girl for sex. You walk into this house, take your clothes off, ready to go.
I promise you, I would never do it again. Ever.
Promises, promises, promises. Well, he's probably never going to do it again, although I shouldn't say that, but he's facing some prison time now. We know he's not going to do it for at least the next 3 years. That's right. Joshua was arrested all the way on that night in December of 2024, charged with felonies involving chatting with an underage child online for sex, traveling to meet that child. And Josh would spend a large part of the holiday behind bars, right there in the Blount County jail. And just recently, Joshua Ryan Simpson pleaded guilty to charges associated with this case. He will now do 3 years in prison. Once he gets out, he'll be on probation and he'll have to register as a sex offender. We wanted to know if Josh had gotten into trouble before, and that's one of the reasons we partnered with Truthfinder. Truthfinder is an invaluable tool for me for this podcast, as well as when I'm out conducting stings. I can check people's backgrounds. I can determine if they've been involved in criminal activity. I can find out what their social media sites are. I can find out a lot of information. This is your weekly Truthfinder update, brought to you by our friends at truthfinder.com. The one thing Joshua Ryan Simpson might have been truthful about is that he had never been in trouble with the law before. And in fact, a search on Truthfinder indicates no touches with law enforcement that we can find anywhere in the U.S. Truthfinder works for me, and it can work for you. To find out more, go to truthfinder.com/predators to get all the details you need. It's a great service. I urge you to check it out. More of our story in a moment. As you know, I like to hear from you, and this week's question comes from my home state of Michigan, specifically Cadillac, Michigan, way up north, and a listener viewer named Cole Hilton.
Hey, Chris. This is Cole Hilton, and I am up in beautiful Cadillac, Michigan. You are my Michigan brother. I sent you an email, but I wanted to clarify the question. I asked you if you ever felt bad for a predator that you had caught. But my point was there ever a predator that you actually felt that when they said, I wasn't here, I wouldn't have violated this child? Did you believe any one of them? Like, was there one that you were like, okay, he did something wrong online, but I just really feel that it wouldn't be him that would do it? And when he said, I'm just there to, talk to him and hang out, was there one that you actually believed that? Thank you, sir. You rock, and I love everything you do, and have a good day.
Thank you, Cole. That's a great question on a number of different levels. I can honestly say, after interviewing hundreds, probably close to 1,000 predators over 22 years, I mean, maybe there are some guys who might have chickened out, gotten a conscience between the time of their arrival and the moment of actually sexually exploiting a child, maybe. And I think I know what you're referring to. We often get people who say they've identified somebody in need, a child who's at risk, a child in trouble, and they played along in the scenario to get to that child, to rescue the child. I've never seen a case where I was convinced that was going to happen. I've heard it in Blount County. I've heard it in just about every jurisdiction in which we work. The Good Samaritan excuse. I just don't believe I've ever seen someone who was actually there to rescue a child. I think they have the excuse all made up. I think if they were going to rescue a child, they would first call 911. They'd call the sheriff's office. In some of these smaller communities, they have access to the sheriff himself. We had a case right in Blount County, the same county where we popped Joshua Simpson, the same county where he walked in naked. In that same sting house and kitchen, we had a guy who swore up and down he was there to rescue the child. He had girls of his own. He had just come from having dinner with his daughter. And he was there to do a good deed, to be a good Samaritan. But what he didn't tell me during the interview was that he actually had the sheriff's cell phone number on his cell phone because he had known the sheriff from another community meeting. So all he had to do was text the sheriff and say, I think there's a problem at this address. I'm going over there. Or have one of your deputies go over there. But that's not what he did. He showed up. And showing up is showing up, as I've said many times before. So Cole, it's a great question. Could it have happened? Maybe. Do I believe him anytime a predator has said that to me? I do not. Stay warm up there in Cadillac, Michigan. It's been a heck of a winter. You can find me all over social media at Chris Hansen on X, official Chris Hansen on Instagram, Have a Seat with Chris Hansen on TikTok, Cameo should you desire. My streaming network is True Blue, TRUBLU. Watch trueblue.com for details. New episodes of Takedown, our Predator investigative series, drop every single Thursday. Watch trueblue.com. I'll see you next Monday right here at Predators I've Caught. Wednesday is the day each week Have a Seat with Chris Hansen drops. Some really compelling interviews, including our most recent with the attorney for actor-director Timothy Busfield, who attacks the case against him. It's fascinating. It's also home to many interviews with the Epstein survivors and other people who are in the news as we speak. Check it out. And as always, you can reach me right here at Chris@PredatorPodcast.com. I'll be watching and listening.